Okay, topic for today is, nakalagay dyan, one sample C-test and T-test. Ano? Ito yung isa pang klase ng T-test kasi it refers to one sample lang. Kasi yung nauna nating T-test na ginawa, that is two sample yun. Ano? So, meaning two groups ang kinuna ng data. Ano? Dito, one group lang. Ano? And then one statistic again is C-test. Ano? We're going to determine how to use C-test in hypothesis testing and then kasama ang t-test and then the computation nilang dalawa. No? Kasi magkaugnay yung dalawang yan eh. Kaya magkasama sa discussion. Okay? So, try to look at the important details again. And then afterwards, we're going to have our discussion. And then I'll be explaining some parts na medyo malabo. Ano? Okay, ready na ba para manood, class? Sino taga-check ng attendance natin?
Ako po, sir.
Yes, Miss Flores, ano? After class, kung ilan lang tayo, lang dapat naka-reflect sa ating attendance for today. Ha? Thank you. Okay, play ko na.
Then what is a hypothesis? A hypothesis is a statement claiming that something is true. So, intelligent guess ang ibig sabihin ng hypothesis. So, there are two types of hypothesis. The first one is the null hypothesis. So, this statement claims that there is no significant difference between two variables o siya yung nagsasabi na ang dalawang bagay ay walang pinagkaiba. Okay? And then yung ating second hypothesis, which is the alternative hypothesis, is the inverse of the null hypothesis. Ibig sabihin, ito namang alternative hypothesis, siya naman yung magsasabi na ang dalawang bagay ay may pagkakaiba or there is a significant difference between two variables. Okay? So, now to determine the null and alternative hypothesis, kapag ka ang null hypothesis nyo ay not equal, ay equal, ang alternative nyo ay not equal. So, magiging symbol niya ay not equal. Kapag ka naman, ang HO nyo or ang null hypothesis nyo ay greater than or equal to, ang magiging HA nyo ay less than. And then, kung ang HO ninyo ay less than or equal to, ang magiging HA ninyo ay greater than. So, palagi silang in an opposite direction. And at the same time, si HO, siya yung palaging may equal sign. Kung mapapansin ninyo, siya yung may, ito, yung una, equal. Itong pangalawa, greater than or equal to. And then yung pangatlo is less than or equal to. So, siya yung symbol na palaging it's either equal. Kung inequality symbol naman siya, siya yung may nakalagay na equal sign sa ilalim. So, greater than or equal to o kaya naman less than or equal to. Okay? Now, kailan naman natin ginagamit ang z-test or t-test, one sample? So, ang z-test, guys, ginagamit siya if the population standard deviation is known and your sample size is greater than or equal to 30. So, kapag meron kayong standard deviation ng population, z-test ang gagamitin nyo. Or titingin kayo sa sample size kapag ang sample size nyo ay greater than or equal to 30, ibig sabihin kung 30 siya or mas mataas sa 30 ang inyong sample size, ang gagamitin nyo ay z-test. Okay? T-test naman ang gagamitin natin kapag ang population standard deviation is unknown, kaya ang gagamitin yung standard deviation kapag t-test ay yung sa sample. Okay? So, sample standard deviation. Okay? Or, titignan nyo yung sample size kapag less than 30 siya, yung inyong sample size, ibig sabihin ng less than 30, mas mababa sa 30, pero hindi kasama si 30. So, ang gagamitin nyo ay t-test. Okay? Kapag saktong 30 lang, guys, ang gagamitin nyo is still z-test. So, nandito yung mga sample size na 30 and above. Okay? So, dito naman, below 30. Okay? So, hindi kasama si 30. Okay, now let us have the first example para mas maintindihan nyo paano ginagawa itong hypothesis testing. Okay, so example 1. According to a 2011 survey, Filipinos spent an average amount of 150,000 annually on housing with 9,000 standard deviation. A suburban community claims that their residents did not spend 150,000. The community used 48 students. 48 residents, and they found that these residents spent an annual average of 155,500. Is there a sufficient evidence to support the claim at 0.05 level of significance? Okay. So, ang una nyong step na gagawin, ang tip ko sa inyo is to find the claim of the problem. So, dito guys, ang claim nitong suburban community is yung residents daw nila ay hindi nag-spend ng 150,000. Kasi according to the 2011 survey daw, ito, ang Filipinos daw ay gumastos ng, or an average daw na ginagastos ng mga Filipino para sa kanilang housing annually, ibig sabihin, taon-taon, is 150,000. Pero itong suburban community, they claim that their residents did not spend 150,000 na sinabi nitong 2011 survey. So, ang claim dito guys, hanapin nyo muna yung palagi yung claim. Ang claim dito is ito, a suburban community claims, ayan, that their residents did not spend. So, mag-start tayo dito sa keyword na did not spend. So, did not spend 150,000. So, para dito, kiniklaim nila, itong suburban community, na yung kanilang residents ay hindi nag-spend ng 150,000 na sinasabi nitong survey. Kasi dito sa survey, ang sabi naman ni survey, Filipinos spent an average amount of 150,000. Pero itong suburban community, they claim that their residents did not spend 150,000. So, syempre, kailangan natin ng evidence or sufficient evidence para para i-support itong claim na to ng suburban community or hindi siya i-support. So, depende dito sa kakalabasan ng ating test. Okay? So, pagka alam nyo na yung claim, magnahanap nyo na yung claim, tingnan nyo guys kung ano yung appropriate or tamang symbol na gamitin para dun sa claim. So, in this case, sabi dyan, did not spend. So, pag sinabi natin did not spend, syempre, ang pinaka-tama na gamiting symbol dyan is not equal. Diba? Pag sinabing did not, ibig sabihin is not equal, parang ganun siya. Synonymous siya doon. So, ibig sabihin, ang gagamitin nating symbol dyan is the not equal sign. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, proceed tayo sa step 1 dito. Okay? So, ang step 1 in the hypothesis testing in one sample, z-test or t-test, is to construct the null, which is HO, and then the alternative hypothesis. So, dalawa lang yan. Okay? So, si HO at saka si HA, ko-construct nyo, yan yung first step. Okay? So, sabi dito sa claim, did not spend 150,000. So, pagka mathematical symbol natin yan, ang magiging symbol nitong did not is not equal. So, not equal 150,000. Okay? So, kapag ka not equal, ang inyong claim, ilalagay nyo siya dito sa HA. Okay? So, babalikan natin yung table. Ayan. So, nandito yung mga walang equal na sign sa HA. Nandito naman sa HO yung mga may equal na sign. So, in this case, ang claim natin ay not equal to 150,000. So, mapupunta siya dito sa HA. So, ang magiging HA natin ay population mean or mu is not equal to 150,000. So, palaging uunahin nyo kung nasan yung claim. So, nandito yung claim, nasa HA. Okay? Tapos, ang HO naman natin, so palagi nyo siyang i-opposite. Okay? Kapag naisulat nyo na yung isang hypothesis, i-opposite siya ng isa pang hypothesis. So dito, nauna nating naisulat si HA, which is mu is not equal to 150,000, which is the claim of the suburban community. So, i-opposite naman natin siya. So, ang opposite ng equal, ng not equal is equal. So, lalagyan naman natin dito ng equal 150,000. Okay? Kaya very important to guys. Ayan, yan yung mga opposite nila. So, pagka ang HO ninyo ay equal, ang HA nyo ay not equal. Okay? So, palagi silang opposite. So, in this case, ayan, nauna nating na-identify yung ating HA kasi yun yung claim natin. Yung claim sa example na to, which is not equal or mu is not equal to 150,000. So, nasa HA yun. Kasi lahat ng nasa HA ay yung mga walang equal or not equal signs. Okay? Ngayon, syempre, i-opposite nyo yan ng HO. So, magiging HO ninyo is mu is equal to 150,000. So, same lang naman yung number na gagamitin. Okay? Yan yung population mean. Okay? Pagkatapos niyan, guys, is we will proceed to the step 2. Okay? So, ang step 2, dito na lang yung step 2. Dito, para mas maluwag. Ayan. So, ang step 2 is to identify or state the level of significance. So, sabi dito, ang gagamitin natin level of significance is 0.05. So, lagay lang natin yung alpha. Alpha is the symbol for level of significance or the margin of error. So ang ating level of significance dito is 0.05 and then we will identify the test to be used. Okay? So para malaman kung anong test ang gagamitin, simply tignan nyo lang kung ilan yung n niya. So in this case, ang ginamit na n, okay, so ang n natin dito ay 48. Kasi yun yung, pag sinabing n guys, yan yung sample size or yung ginamit na respondents or participants doon sa experiment. So in this case, ang ginamit nila, the community used 48 residents as their sample. Okay? So 48 yung ating n. So 48 is greater than 30. Okay? So kapag ka greater than 30 ang inyong n, gagamit kayo ng z-test. Pag less than 30 ang inyong n, gagamit kayo ng t-test. So ibig sabihin, dito sa example na to, ang gagamitin nating test is z-test because our n is 48 which is greater than 30. So z-test to. Okay? Pagkatapos, pag nalaman nyo na yung test na gagamitin, ay i-graph nyo na yung itsura ng graph ng example na to. So ang graph natin, mas madali kasi guys maggawa ng decision kapag ka nakagraph siya. So yan, yung normal curve. So 0 yung gitna. Okay? Ngayon, malalaman nyo kung ilang tail, okay, yung inyong graph depende sa HA. So, babalikan nyo yung HA. Kapag ka ang HA ninyo ay not equal, so ang magiging graph ninyo ay two-tailed. Okay? So, babalikan nyo yung HA. Kapag ka ang HA ninyo ay not equal, ibig sabihin yan guys, two-tailed. So, ibig sabihin, dalawa yung buntot. Kasi kaya nga not equal. Hindi natin alam kung, halimbawa, sinabi dito, not equal 150,000. So, hindi natin alam kung mas mataas ba sa 150 or mas mababa. Basta ang binanggit niya lang is not equal to 150,000. So, therefore, it can be greater than 150,000 or can be less than. So, kailangan both sides ang ating i-cater dito. So, magkakaroon tayo ng two-tail. So, pag two-tail, yung dalawang buntot ang nakagraph. Okay? So, itong edge na to, guys, nitong two-tailed na to is what we call the critical value. So, yung critical value na yan, makukuha nyo dito sa table. Yung link dito sa table ay ililive ko na lang sa baba. Okay? So, ito yung table na gagamitin nyo in getting the critical values of T and Z. Okay? Ito yung Z, guys. Medyo maliit lang siya. Very cute lang siya sa ilalim. So, lakihan ko lang. Ayan. Ito yung Z value. Yung critical values ng Z. Ito lang siya. Okay? And then the rest will be used for T test. Okay? So, in this case, ganito gagawin nyo guys. Una nyong hanapin, ilang tail. Okay? So, in this case, two-tailed. So, hanapin nyo rito, two-tailed. Ayan, two-tailed. Kasi may nakalagay one tail, two-tailed. So, dito tayo sa two-tailed kasi two tails yung ating test. And then, sunod nyo nga hanapin is the confidence level. I mean, level of significance. The margin of error. So, 0.05 yung alpha. Okay? So, balik tayo rito. So, from the two-tail called row, hanapin nyo dyan yung 0.05. So, ito siya. Okay? Take note, magkaiba ang 0.05 ng one tail at two tail. Tignan nyo. Pag one tail, ito yung 0.05 niya. Pag two tail, ito siya. So, kailangan alam nyo muna kung ilang tail. And then, saka nyo hanapin yung alpha niya from the row. Okay? So, two tail and then 0.05. And then, next one would be the test. So, sabi dito, z-test. So, kapag ka z-test siya, guys, ang gagamitin yung value, yung nasa pinakailalim, which is ito, 1.960 kasi z-test tayo. Ayan, z-test. Okay? The rest, itong values na to is for t-test. Ito for z-test, yung nasa pinakadulo. Okay? So, in this case, ang value na gagamitin natin is 1.960. So, babalikan natin dito and then we will put the critical value in here. So, 1.960. Okay? Since two-tailed to, so isang positive, isang negative. So, ibig sabihin, itong edge na to, ang value niyan is 1.960 and negative 1.960. Okay? Pagkatapos niyan, is we will proceed to the step 3, which is the computation or computed value. So, ibig sabihin, guys, wait lang, bago ko step 3, lagay natin dito yung critical values. So, ang critical values natin dito of Z, kasi Z-test to. So, critical values, dahil dalawa, so dalawa ang meron, which are positive, negative 1.960. Dalawa yan, guys. Ang positive, isang negative. Okay? And then the next one would be step 3 or the computation. So, computation tayo ng Z value. Ang formula, guys, parehas sila actually, would be X minus mean, okay, all over standard deviation divided by square root of N. Ayan. So, dito, lagay natin yung given. So, alam na natin na yung N ay 48. So, hanapin natin yung mu, tapos yung mean na x, and then yung standard deviation. Okay? So, hanapin natin tong apat na to. So, yung n, alam na natin, that is the sample, which is 48. And then yung mu, kung ano yung ginamit nyo rito sa HA, yan yung gagamitin nyo rin dito, 150,000. Okay? And then, unahin nyo itong standard dev. So, hanapin natin ano yung binanggit na standard dev dyan. Ito. So, with 9,000 standard deviation, so ang ating standard deviation ay 9,000. And then, syempre, wala nang iba. Ito na lang, si 155,500. So, siya na yung X. 155,500. Okay? Yan yung ano guys, yung mean ng sample. Apat lang naman yan babanggitin dyan. Si N, yan, madaling identify yung N. Madali ring identify yung mu, kasi yan yung madalas ginagamit sa may claim. And then, yung X, I mean, standard deviation, madali din. And then, syempre, kung wala nang iba yan, kundi X na lang, so, yung isang value na natitira, which is 155,500, siya na yung mean dyan, okay, ng sample. Okay, next one is we will identify yung Z value. So, substitute natin itong mga value na to. Magiging 155,500 minus yung mu na 150,000. Okay, all over. So, ang S natin, or standard deviation, is 9,000 divided by square root of, so 48 yung ating N. Okay? So, ang Z value natin, so get your calculator. Dire-diretso lang sa calcu. Just don't forget the parentheses. So, 155,500 minus 150,000 and 150,000 close parenthesis divided by, so open parenthesis 9,000 divided by, and then square root 48. Okay? Tapos, move nyo muna yung cursor bago nyo i-close parenthesis. Okay? So, the answer would be 4.23. So, 4.23. Okay? Pagka nakuha nyo na yung Z value, then you may proceed to the step 5. Step 4 pala, sorry. So, step 4, guys, is the decision. So, dito natin malalaman kung sinong maa-accept or mare-reject na hypothesis. Okay? So, babalikan natin tong 4.23 na to. Okay? So, itong 4.23, igagraph nyo siya dito sa ating graph kanina sa step 2. So, hanapin natin, nasan si 4.23 positive. So, kung andito si 1.960, syempre, nandito siya. Nasa loob siya nito, si 4.23. Somewhere here. Hindi naman sobrang accurate, pero nandyan siya sa loob. Alam natin na nandyan siya. Kasi syempre, papaakyat na yan. 0, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. Papaakyat yan to positive infinity. Ito, negative infinity. Diba? 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Pag ano na siya. So, si 4.23 will be located here sa loob ng critical region. Okay? So, kapag ka, guys, pumasok siya dyan sa loob ng critical value, ang gagawin nyo sa HO ay i-reject nyo. So, palaging, ang decision, mauuna si HO. So, reject the HO, and then we will accept the HA. Siyempre, kung reject yung isa, accept yung isa. So, reject HO, and then accept HA. Okay? And the next one would be step 5. So, step 5 is the conclusion. So, kung reject yung HO, ayan, rejected daw to, and then accepted daw tong HA, so ibig sabihin, the claim of the suburban community is true. Okay? So, since na-accept yung HA, yung HA natin, nandun yung claim natin, so we can conclude that the claim of the suburban community is true. Okay? So, their claim is true that that their residents did not spend 150,000 pesos. Okay? So, tama, or pwede nating suportahan, there is a sufficient evidence to support the claim of the suburban community. Kasi nga, siya yung na-accept na reject tong isa. Okay? Sige. Let us have the next example. A researcher claims that the average salary of a private school teacher is greater than 40,000 pesos with a standard deviation of 7,500. A sample of 35 teachers has a mean salary of 42,000. At 0.05 level of significance, test the claim of the researcher. So, again, hanapin nyo muna yung claim. So, ang claim dito, guys, ito, a researcher claims that the average salary of private school teacher is greater than. So, dun tayo mag-start. Greater than, so, greater than 40,000. Okay? Pag nabasa nyo na yung keyword ninyo before the number, So, doon kayo mag-start. So, ang claim dito ni researcher, ang salary daw, ang average salary daw ng private school teacher is greater than 40,000. Okay? So, yan yung claim, greater than. So, syempre, ang tamang gamitin symbol dyan, inequality symbol, is greater than, ayan, 40,000. Okay? So, kung ganyan ang ating claim, so step 1 na tayo, which is constructing the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So, wala siyang equal sign. So, therefore, mapupunta siya dito sa HA. So, HA is mu is greater than 40,000. So, ito yung claim ni researcher na ang average salary ng private school teacher is greater than 40,000. Ito siya. Okay? So, babaligtarin nyo yan dito sa HO. Gagawin nyo siyang less than or equal to 40,000. Ayan. So, kabaligtaran lang nito. Okay, next one is step 2. Ito na lang. So, step 2 is level of significance. So, ang level of significance dito na pinapagamit is this one, 0.05 level of significance. And test to be used is z-test pa rin. Kasi, ang ating N dito, ang ating sample is 35 teachers. So, they use 35 teachers or they have sampled 35 teachers. So, kung 35 yan, that is greater than 30. Therefore, we will use z-test. Okay? And then, ang tail nito, guys, so we have, so ang HA natin, titingnan nyo yung HA. So, sabi sa HA, greater than. So, kung greater than yan, one-tailed lang yan. Okay? So, one-tailed sa right. Hindi lang basta one-tailed. Kasi dalawa yung one-tailed. Pwedeng left or right. Okay? So, ang graph natin ay one-tailed, nasa right siya. Kasi greater than. Okay? So, pag greater than, guys, nasa right. Pag less than, nasa left. Okay? Pagka not equal, katulad ng last example natin, ayan, since ang HA natin dito ay not equal, ayan. So, isang kanan, isang kaliwa. Okay? Kapag ka, greater than lang, ayan. Pag greater than lang siya, kanan lang. So, pag less than tong HA, kaliwa. Palaging HA, guys. Palaging HA ang titignan ninyo kung one-tailed ba or two-tailed yung test. Okay? So, this one is one-tailed right. Kasi, greater than, so nasa kanan siya. Okay? And then, punta na tayo dun sa table para malaman natin kung yung ano tong critical value na to above. Okay? So, ang ating test ay one-tailed. So, hanapin muna natin one-tailed. So, ayan, one-tailed. And the next one would be the level of significance, 0.05. So, one-tailed ng 0.05, ito siya. Okay? And then, ang test natin is z-test. So, yung pinakailalim, ayan. So, ayan. So, 1.645. So, ang ating critical value is 1.645. Positive, kasi kanan lang. So, isa lang yung ating critical value dito.
Try the AWS free tier and discover how AWS AI and machine learning helps make accurate predictions. Turn text into speech.
Kanina dalawa, kasi not equal. Isang positive, isang negative. So, this one, ang critical value natin, isa lang, 1.645. Positive, kasi nasa kanan. Kasi greater than to. Okay? Next one is step 3. So, computin na natin. So, z equals x, okay, minus mean, or sample mean over population mean over standard deviation divided by square root of n. So, meron na tayong n, 35. Yung mu natin, ito yun, kung anong ginamit nyo dyan. So, 40,000. And then, ang standard deviation of 7,500. So, wala nang iba. Yung x dyan is ito, 42,000. 42,000. Ayan. Okay, so salpak lang yan sa calcu. So, we will have 42,000 minus 40,000, yung mu, over standard dev na 7,500 divided by square root of 35. Okay, so ang z natin, z value. So, computin lang natin. So, parenthesis 42,000 minus 40,000. Hindi yan pwedeng magkabaligtad, guys, ha? Okay, 40,000 divided by parenthesis 7,500 divided by 30, square root of 35. Do not forget the radical. Okay, and then 35. So, the answer is 1.58. So, 1.58 positive. Okay, and then next one, step 4. Okay, step 4 is decision. So, decision na tayo. Kung i-reject ba or i-accept, sinong i-accept, sinong i-reject. So, 1.58, hanapin natin siya. Balikan natin kung nasan siya dito sa step 2 na graph. So, 1.58 is located somewhere here. So, andyan si 1.58, di ba? Kasi syempre, kung 1.6 to, mauuna si 1.5. 1.58 muna bago 1.6. So, nandito si 1.58. Kung nandyan siya, hindi siya pumasok dun sa tinatawag na rejected region or the critical region. Ito kasi guys, critical region na yung tawag dyan. So, 1.645 pataas, lahat yan mare-reject na yung values. Okay? So, since nandito siya, si 1.58, nandito siya sa white na part ng graph. So, ibig sabihin, we will accept the null. Okay? And then, next one, syempre, reject yung HA. So, ganun lang palagi. So, accept daw to, reject daw to. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, step 5, pwede nating sabihin dito sa step 5, sa conclusion, kung yung claim ba ay true or false. Since na-reject yung claim natin na nasa HA, kasi nga, reject yung HA, so the claim, sino ba yung nakiklaim dito? The claim of the researcher is false. Okay? So, pwede nating sabihin na ang claim nitong researcher na to na ang average salary ng private school teacher daw is greater than 40,000 is false. Okay? Kasi na-reject yung claim which is located at HA. Okay? So, kanina guys, na-reject yung HO kasi nasa loob siya. Ito siya. Ayan. So, kung nasa loob yan guys, ng rejected area or rejected region, pumasok siya dun sa critical value, i-reject yung HO. But since, in this case, sa example 2 natin, hindi siya pumasok dun, okay, so ang magiging decision natin is accept the HO and then you will reject HA. Okay? Let us have the next example. A study shows that the average daily coffee consumption of a 25 to 35 years old student is 4 cups per day. A university claims that their students tend to drink less than 4 cups. They selected 18 students and found the mean of 3.5 cups with a standard deviation of 1.8 cups. Use 0.01 level of significance to test their claim. So, hanapin nyo muna ano yung claim dito. Okay, so ang claim dito, yung university, kasi may study daw guys na nagpapakita na ang average daily consumption ng isang estudyante or ng mga students na may edad na 25 to 35 is 4 cups per day. So sabi nitong university, nag-claim sila na yung kanilang students tend to drink less than that, less than 4 cups. Okay? So ito yung claim natin, the university claim that their students tend to drink less than. So doon tayo mag-start sa less than kasi nandun yung keyword natin na number. So less than 4 cups. Okay? So syempre kung less than 4 cups, you will use the less than symbol. So less than 4 cups. Ganyan ang itsura niya. Okay? So step 1 tayo. So step 1, so HO and then HA. So kung less than yan, so andito siya sa mu kasi wala siyang equal sign. So nandito siya less than 4. Ayan, less than 4 cups. So ito, andito yung claim natin. So ito, magiging greater than or equal to 4. Okay? So, iaano nyo lang to guys. I-opposite nyo lang siya. So, ang opposite ng less than is greater than or equal to. Okay? So, nandito yung HA, yung claim natin. Bakit nandyan yung less than? Kasi guys, lahat ng symbol, babalikan nyo to. Ito, ayan. So, ang HA, ito yung mga symbols ng HA. Not equal, less than, tsaka greater than. So, since yung ating claim ay, sabi niya, less than 4 cups, so ang claim natin ay nasa HA. Okay? Next one is step 2. So, ang ating alpha dito is 0.01. Wait lang, dito ko ilagay yung step 2 para medyo maluwag yung space natin. So, step 2, level of significance na pinapagamit dito is 0.01. And then, ang test to be used, ayan. So, ang N natin dito, ilang sample. So, they have selected 18 students. So, we will use t-test. Tama? Ayan. So, t-test to kasi, this is less than 30. So, 18 lang ang ating sample. Therefore, we will use t-test, 1 sample. Okay? So, kapag ka may t-test, guys, mamaya na, dito muna tayo sa tail. So, ang HA natin ay, ayun, less than. So, pag less than na ganyan, one-tailed yan. So, one-tailed left yan, di ba? Kasi, less than. So, pagka less than, left. O, para mas matandaan nyo, pag sinabing less than, left. Pagka greater than, right. Pagka two-tailed, dalawa. Pag not equal. So, andito yung ating graph. Ayan. Okay? So, to determine the critical value, punta tayo dito sa table natin. Ilang tail? So we will have one tail, this. So one tail. Ayan. And then yung ating level of significance, 0.01. So hanapin yung katapat ng one tail, 0.01. Ito. Okay? Pagkatapos, pag z-test, ito gagamitin nyo. Eh, hindi naman to z-test. T-test to, di ba? Ayan o. So, t-test yan. Ang kaibahan, guys, ni t-test at ni z-test, si t-test, kapag ka-t-test na, kukumputin nyo dito sa step 2 yung df. Ang df, ang formula is n-1. Okay? So, ang df natin dito is 18. So, 18 minus 1. So, ang df natin ay 17. Okay? So, pag nakuha nyo yung df na 17, balik kayo ulit dito. Ayan. So, 17 is here. Ayan. Kaya ito, yan, no, df nakalagay. So, ibig sabihin, hanapin nyo yung df na 17, which is located here. So, ang formula ng df for t-test is n-1. Okay? So, ito yun, 17. Tapos, yung intersection nila, so, ito siya, 0.01. So, dito kayo sa df na 17. So, ang sagot ay 2.567. So, 2.567. Negative dahil nasa kaliwa. So, 567. Okay? So, ang ating critical value dito is negative 2.567. Isa lang, negative lang. Kasi one-tailed less lang to. Okay, so ulitin ko lang. Ayan. So, one-tailed, 0.01. And then, locate nyo pababa hanggang dun sa DF niya. In this case, ang DF natin ay 17 kasi ang N natin ay 18 at ang ating DF is N-1. So, 18 minus 1 is 17. Okay, so ang nakuha nating sagot is negative 2.567. And then next one is step 3. So, compute na natin yung computed value, which is dito t-value ang tawag kasi t-test to eh. Pero same pa rin ang formula. X minus mean over standard dev square root of n. Okay? So, may n na tayo, 18. Yung mu natin, ito yun, 4. And then standard dev, hanapin nyo lang dyan sa given. So, ang standard deviation, ayan, 1.8 cups. Ayan, no? With a standard deviation of 1.8 cups. So, ibig sabihin yung mean natin, yung isang naka-cups na lang, which is 3.5. Ayan, wala nang iba. Okay, so ang ating t value is 3.5 minus mu na 4 over is 1.8 divided by square root of 18. Okay? Guys, yung isasalpak nyo rito sa t, yung n pa rin na 18 ha, not the df. Yung df sa step 2 lang yan. Okay? So, kunin ng form yung calcu. So, 3.5 minus 4 divided by 1.8 divided by square root of, divided by square root of 18. So, the answer is, kunin decimal, negative 1.18 na to guys. 1.18. Ayan, negative 1.18. Okay? And then, step 4 is the decision. So, balikan ko lang ulit. Hanapin ko si negative 1.18 dito sa graph. So, negative 1.18 is here. Tama? Kasi negative 2 to. E, papaakyat na yan eh. So, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So, mauna si negative 1 bago si negative 2. Ito, negative 2 kasi to eh. Itong edge na to. So, negative 2 yan. So, therefore, ang negative 1.18 is here. Hindi siya lalampas doon. Okay? So, pagka ganyan, ibig sabihin, hindi siya lumampas sa critical value or hindi siya pumasok sa rejected region, ibig sabihin, accept. So, accept the null and then, syempre, you will reject alternative. Okay? So, palaging mauuna ang decision kay null and then sunod si alternative. So, accept daw to, reject daw to. Ayan. Okay? So, step 5. So, pwede na natin ilagay dito yung claim kung true or false. So, the claim, so ang may claim dito, university. The claim of the university is, so since na X siya, is false. So, wala tayong sufficient evidence to support their claim based dito sa ating test na ginawa. Okay, let us have the fourth example. A recent study shows that the mean pulse rate of college women is 73. A researcher wants to know if the mean pulse rate for all college women is equivalent to 73. He measured the pulse rate of 15 college women in a certain university and found that the mean is 70.31 with a standard deviation of 8.52. Use 0.10 level of significance. So, pagka wala kayo nabasa na claim, guys, pwede nyo pa rin namang hanapin with the use of, parang, ito yung gustong malaman. Kapag, ano kasi yan eh, parang, kung ano yung gustong patunayan nitong isang problem. So in this case, ang makikita niyong keyword dyan, ito, a researcher wants to know. So parang nag-claim na rin siya or may gusto siyang malaman, which is if the mean pulse rate for all college women is equivalent to 73. So ang claim dito is if all the mean pulse rate for all college women is equivalent to 73. So ang keyword natin doon is equivalent to 73. So, yun ang gusto niya malaman or yung claim niya. Actually, hindi siya claim, pero yun yung gusto niya malaman kung lahat daw ba ng pulse rate ng lahat ng college women ay equivalent sa 73. Okay? So, syempre, ang best, hindi best, ang right symbol ng equivalent is equal. Diba? So, equal to 73, which means equal to 73. Ganyan yung isusulat niyang equal to 73. Okay? So, yan yung gustong malaman ni researcher. Okay? So, ito si step 1. Again. So, HO, HA. So, again, ang ating claim ay equal to 73. Pag equal, nandito yan. Okay? So, nandito yung claim natin. Ang claim, guys, hindi palaging nasa HA. Pwedeng palipat-lipat yan. Pwedeng mapunta sa HO, pwedeng mapunta sa HA. Depende sa given. Okay? So, in this case, equal sign ang ginamit niya sa claim or dito sa gustong malaman nitong researcher. Therefore, ang magiging claim nyo nasa HO. Okay? Mu is equal to 73. Okay? So, syempre, kabaligtaran yan is not equal. So, not equal to 73. Ayan. Pag binalikan nyo yan, ayan, nandito yung equal sa HO. So, kabaligtaran yan ay yung HA na not equal. Okay? So, ilalagay nyo sa HO yun. Tapos, ilalagay nyo yung opposite niya na not equal. Okay? Next one is step 2. So, ang alpha natin is this one, 0.10. And then, ang test to be used. Okay? So, ang test na gagamitin, ano bunang N natin dito? So, ang N natin, he measured the pulse rate of 15 college women. So, he experimented 15 college women. So, 15, that is less than 30. So, therefore, ang test na gagamitin is t-test. So, less than 30 yan. Okay? And then, kung t-test, may karugtong yan, DF. Diba? So, may DF tayo. Pag t-test, may DF. Pag z-test, wala. So, ang DF natin is n-1. So, 15 minus 1 is 14. So, ang DF natin is 14. Okay? And then, ang tail natin dito, so, ang HA natin ay not equal. So, pag not equal, ayan o, yung HA. So, pag not equal, two-tailed yan. So, hindi na ano yan kung right or left. Right and left na yan kasi two-tailed. Okay? So, ang graph nyo, isang right, isang left. Okay? So, alamin na natin yung critical value with the use of the table.
May mas dadali pa bang paraan para kumita ng mas maraming pera? Imbitahan ng mga kaibigan mo na sumali sa XM at kumita ng hanggang $35 sa bawat
So, two-tailed tayo, di ba? So, two-tailed, ayan. So, two-tailed, tapos ang ating alpha is 0.10. So, two-tailed ng 0.10, ito siya. Okay, and then ang ating DF ay 14, kasi t-test to. So, pag z-test, guys, yung pinakailalim, ito siya. But hindi to z-test, t-test to. So, hanapin nyo yung DF na 14. So, 14 is here. Hop, ayun, ito siya. Ay, 14. Okay? So, ang sagot is 1.761. So, 1.761 and isang negative kasi two-tailed. So, ang ating critical values ay dalawa kasi two-tailed to. So, critical values are positive, negative, 1.761. Okay? Step 3 is to solve. So, t value to. So, x minus mu over standard dev divided by square root of n. So, n natin 15, mu natin, ayan, ito na yun, 73. And then, ang standard dev natin is, ito, standard deviation of 8.52. And then, ang ating x, wala nang iba kung hindi ito, 70.31. Ayan. Okay, so salpak lang sa calcu. Ay, wait lang, lagay natin dito. So, 70.31 minus mu na 73. Over standard dev, 8.52 divided by square root of 15. Yung n ha, hindi yung df. Ito, yung n. Okay, so ang ating t computed value is parenthesis 70.31 minus 73 divided by 8.52 divided by square root of 15. And then close parenthesis. So, negative 1.22. Negative 1.22. Ayan. Okay, and then we will have step 4. So, sa step 4, balikan ulit natin. So, 1.22, hanapin natin siya dito. So, mapupunta siya, guys, dito lang. Andyan lang si negative 1.22. Di ba? Kasi 1.22 muna bago 1.7. Siyempre, mas malaki si negative. So, nandito si negative 1.22, nandito si negative 1.7. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya pumasok dun sa rejected region kasi this one is negative 1.7. Nandito lang siya, si negative 1.22. Therefore, accept HO, then reject HA. Tama? Okay? So, accepted to dahil sa graph natin. And then, syempre, gagawin sa isa, reject siya. So, sa step 5 would be the conclusion. So, pwede nating sabihin that ang gusto niya kasing malaman if the mean pulse rate for all college women is equivalent to 73. And na-check na to. So, ibig sabihin, pwede nating sabihin, the claim of the researcher is 2. Or, pwede nating sabihin, the mean pulse rate for all college women is equivalent to 73. Kasi yun yung gusto niya malaman, yung kiniklaim niya. Actually, hindi niya kiniklaim, pero nilagay na natin na claim. Okay? Pero yun yun. So, yung final ano natin dito is the mean pulse rate equivalent to 73. Okay, let us have the last example. A light manufacturer claims that the average life of their LED bulbs is greater than 6 years with a standard deviation of 2 years. The 70 LED light bulbs were randomly sampled and the average life is found to be 6.5 years. Prove the claim of the manufacturer using 0.05 level of significance. So dito guys, kiniklaim daw ng light manufacturer na ang kanilang pinoproduce na LED light bulbs ay may average life na greater than 6 years. So ito yung claim mo, andito na yung claim natin. So ang claim natin dito is ito. Their LED light bulbs is greater than. So mag-start kayo dun sa greater than. Ayan, greater than 6 years. Okay? So, greater than 6 years. So, syempre, pag sabing greater than 6 years, so, ang ating symbol ay, ayan, pag ganyan, greater than 6 years. Okay? So, again, ang step 1 natin is to construct the HO and the HA. So, since greater than 6 tayo, so, ang claim natin ay nasa HA. So, mu is greater than 6. Okay? Palagi niyong babalikan yung table na nandun sa first slide natin, sa first part ng lesson na to. Okay? So, kung greater than 6 yan, andito yung claim natin, andyan yung claim no manufacturer na ang average life daw ng LED light bulbs is greater than 6 years. Okay? So, iko-kontra yan ni HO. So, HO would be less than or equal to 6. Basta guys, palagi niyong tatandaan, kapag ka-equal, nandito sila sa HO. Kapag ka walang equal, less than, yung greater than, yung not equal, nandito sila sa HA. Kasi guys, ang claim, hindi yan palagi nasa HA. Pwedeng lumipat-lipat yan. Okay? So, ganun siya. Okay, let us have naman yung step 2. So, ang step 2 natin, ayan. So, step 2 natin is yung alpha. So, level of significance natin dito is 0.05. Ayan. And then, ang test to be used, so, ang test na gagamitin natin dito, hanapin muna natin yung N. Ano bang N dito? So, nag-test sila ng 70. Ayan, 70 LED light bulbs per randomly sampled. So, ang sample size natin dito is 70. Since our N or sample size is greater than 30, therefore, the test to be used is Z-test. Okay? So, kapag ka Z-test, no need for DF. Wala na tayong DF kasi Z-test yan. Okay? So, tingnan na lang natin yung HA. So, ang HA natin dito ay greater than. So, pag greater than yung HA natin, therefore, it is a one-tailed test. One-tailed right. Kasi greater than, di ba? So, kapag ka less than, left one-tailed. Pagka greater than, one-tailed right. Kapag ka not equal, yung HA ninyo, two-tailed siya. Okay? So, ito ay one-tailed na sa kanan. So, ang ating itsura ng graph ay, so 0 to, and then nandyan siya sa right. Okay? So, hanapin na natin yung critical value dito. So, punta na tayo sa ating table. So, Z-test, one-tailed, 0.05. So, one-tailed, ayan, actually, nandyan na siya. So, one-tailed, ayan, one-tailed. And then, 0.05 yung level of significance. So, ito siya. Ayan, ng one-tailed. And then, since we are talking about Z-test, yung pinakailalim lang. Wala na tayong DF. Hindi na natin hanapin yung naman to. So, 1.645. So, this one is 1.645 positive kasi nasa kanan. Pag negative, less than, kaliwa. Negative siya. Okay? So, ang ating critical value dito, guys, ay isa lang, which is 1.645. So, again, next step is step 3. So, compute na natin yung value ng z value kasi this one is z-test. So, x minus mean over standard dev divided by square root of n. So, may n na tayo, 70. Yung mu natin, ito na yon 6. And then standard dev, hanapin natin. So, with a standard deviation of 2 years, ayan, so 2. And then, syempre, yung natitirang isang variable dyan, which is mean ng sample is ito, 6.5 years. Okay? So, ito kasi guys, itong tatlong to, lahat yan naka-years. Okay? So, ito lang na yung iba dyan, si n, ng unit. So, salpak na natin yan. So, 6.5 minus mu na 6 over standard dev na 2 divided by square root of 70. Okay? So, salpak lang sa calcu. Ayan. So, parenthesis, 6.5 minus 6, okay, divided by 2 divided by square root of 70. Okay, and then close parenthesis equals. Kunin yung sagot. So, this one is 2.09. So, ang z value is 2.09. Ayan. So, again, para sa step 4, sa decision, so hanapin nyo nasaan si 2.09 dito sa graph. So, 2.09 is located here. Diba? Nandyan siya sa loob. Kasi 1 to eh. 1 tong edge na to. So, syempre 2 would be located inside the critical value or the critical region or the rejected region. So, nandyan siya sa loob. Pag nandyan siya sa loob, therefore, we will reject the null. And then, syempre, pag na-reject yung null, accept HA. Okay? So, reject to, accept to. Ayan. So, step 5 would be the conclusion. So, conclusion natin, we can say that, prove that to guys, prove that the claim of the prove the claim pala, sorry. Prove the claim. Ayan. Prove the claim of the manufacturer. Okay, so ang step 5 natin, so the claim is true, di ba? So, the claim of the light manufacturer is true. So, tama yung kanilang claim na ang buhay ng kanilang mga pinoproduce na LED light bulbs is greater than 6 years. So, tama yung claim. There is enough evidence to support the manufacturer's claim. Okay? So, that is it for the hypothesis.
Okay? Nakita yung video ng lahat. Hello.
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Nagkaroon ng distinction on when to use the C-test and the T-test. But it uses the same formula. Excuse. Maulan, malamig. Okay. So when do you use the C-test sa T-test nga pala based on the lecture for today? When? Kailan natin pwedeng gamitin ng C-test sa T-test o pagkakaiba? Kailan pwedeng gamitin ng C-test sa C-test? Kailan lang. Isip ko lang yung ating wait lang. Isip ko lang yung ating visual. So I'll be showing the first example. Hindi hihinag signal. Okay. Ayan. Decision. Ayan. Okay. Okay, would you like to answer? Sino nag-raise ng hand? Anyone who'd like to answer? Kailan natin gagamitin ng C-test saka T-test? Yes, Flores.
Ano po, sir, when the n is greater than 30 po, ano po, we will going to use the C-test po. And then when the n is less than 30, we will use the T-test po.
Okay, very good. Ano? So we can or we will use C-test kapag equal to 30 or greater than 30 ang ating N. Meaning to say, ang data natin or kinuha nating sample or sample size natin is greater than 30. Then we can use T-test kapag less than 30 ang ating sample size, ano? O yung mga respondents natin, ano? Kasi medyo ang difference, ang pinakang reason dyan is kasi kapag less than 30 yung ating number of data, medyo hindi pa siya nag-perform ng normal yung data natin. So, it is better to use it as kapag more than 30, ano? Okay, or 30 or more in respondents, okay? Tapos, things to remember, yung step by step, ano? And then, yung una kasing step talaga is identifying yung pinakang given in which ma-identify natin kung ang given natin is referring to magiging wanted or two-ted, ano? Kasi pag wanted or two-ted, para ma-determine mo yun, kasi magsasabi yung kung paano natin gagawin yung decision natin, ano? So, just like this problem 1. Sige, pakibasa ng problem 1. Yung pwede. Problem 1. Yes, Katoliko.
According to a 2011 survey, Filipinos spent an average amount of 150,000 pesos annually on housing with 9,000 pesos standard deviation. A suburban community claims that their residents did not spend 150,000 pesos. The community used 48 residents. They found that these residents spent an annual average of 155,500. Is there a sufficient evidence to support the claim at 0.05 level of significance?
Okay, thank you, Katoliko. So from the problem, nakita natin, complete na yung data yung binigay sa atin, ano? Identified which are the given, and then the alpha level or yung pinakang margin of error or yung level of confidence natin. And then, ang unang kasi nating dapat gawin, ma-determine natin kung wanted or two-ted ang ating problem. Since we know that kailangan natin gamitin ng C-test dito, then wanted or two-ted. So, from the given, sinasabi kasi din sa bandang uli, claim, ano ba yan? Claim is the average which the residents spend na 150,000, sabi nyo sa average of 155,000, ano? 155,000. And then the average amount of 150,000 annually on housing, yun ang una nating claim, ano? So, it refers to the mu or ang symbol kasi sa mu, itong nasa isabo natin ito, mu, yung parang yun na yan, that is the symbol mu, ang ibig sabihin, population mean yan, population mean, ano? So, ang claim kasi nila, sinasabi dito, the average amount ng spend sa housing ng mga Pilipinos, 150,000. So dito sa bandang huli, the community used 48 respondents. They found that these residents spent an annual average of 155,000. So, average na 155,000. So, that will be the mean. Okay? Kapag sinabi na not equal to 150,000 ang claim, so that will be our an alternative hypothesis, ano? And suburban community that the residents did not spend 150,000 did not spend. So meaning to say not equal to 150,000. Kaya nung nilagay na claim dito. Okay? So that is in contrast ano. So since ang kiniklaim ng ating study is not equal to 150,000, that will be our alternative hypothesis. Therefore, ang ating HSABO is equal to 150,000 ano. Okay? Kaya yun nakalagay sa step 1 ito. Step 1. So, from there, we can say that our study calls for a two-tailed test. Kasi ang nilalagay itong figure na ito, parang itong may bundok na ito class, it is referring to the normal distribution. Ano? Normal distribution. Tapos itong guhit na ito, kabilaan, these are called the critical regions. Okay? So, yung pinakang boundary in which kung lumampas dyan sa guhit na yan, sa value na binigay, mamaya makita natin. Ito may mga shade nito, yung shade sa kabilang side. Kasi since it is two-tailed, yung shaded region is called the region of rejection. Region of rejection. Dalawa kasi, kaya dalawang region yan. Kasi nasa loob nito, nasa loob ng guhit na yan, ito, that is called as the region of acceptance. Meaning to say, kapag nandito yung value, accept mo, pag lumabas sa dito sa guhit, rejected. Ano? Region of rejection yan. Okay? So, it is critical for us to identify whether it is a two-tailed or one-tailed para mas madali natin masagot ang katanungan or easy to prove the claim. Excuse me. Okay. Step 2 is identify the critical level. Sabi nga, we use 0.05 level of significance or margin of error. And the test, ang test na gagamit na C-test, two-tailed na yung ginawa natin yun lang. And then this one. Then looking at the table, so yung table na ginagamit yan, katulad ng table na binigay ko sa inyo, pero ang kaibahan, may karagdagan. Yung value ng C table din. No? So kailangan natin yon in case na we will have an activity or the exam. No? Teka lang. Sige, okay. So, these ones are given. Pag tinignan nyo sa value ng table, ang C-test value, step 3. Step 2 muna, no? Okay? So, looking at the value, makikita natin ang value is 1.96, ano? Since it is two-tailed, kabila niya, negative tsaka positive 1.96 or 960, ano? So, ibig sabihin, yung 1.96 negative positive, yung borderline. Kapag lumampas doon, or alam mo, mas mababa sa mas mababa sa 1.96, negative 1.96, you are rejecting. Dito naman sa kabila, pag tumaas sa 1.96, you are rejecting. You know? Okay? So, third computation, remember the formula for C, itong may X bar, ano naman natin ang mean yan. So, the formula for C is C computed to, no? C computed. Mean minus the mu divided by S is for the standard deviation. Actually, class, hindi po na ituturo sa yung computation to. Pero pagdating dito sa computation ng sa theta given ng standard deviation, no? Divided by the square root of n represents the number of respondents. Ano? Okay? So, kinakalculate lang, diretso na. Kapag marunong kang gumamit ng scientific, diretso na yung pwede na agad. Mas madali, ano? Okay? So, the answer or the computed C is 4.23. Nakita natin dito, lumampas sa 1.96. So, it falls on the region of rejection. So, ang nire-reject natin yung claim. Ano? Kaya ito naging two-tailed kasi is not equal to. So, it could be greater than or less than. Pero, since the computation is greater than, it falls on the region of rejection. Kaya naging, ang decision natin, which is step 4, reject the H sub O, which is equal to 150,000, and accept H sub A. So, meaning to say that the average is greater than, is not equal to 150,000. Okay? So, based on the computation, ito rin, malagat tong part na to, identifying the components of our formula sa computation. Ano? Yung standard deviation given na hindi namin ko-compute, 9,000. Okay? 9,000 and yan. And then, n is 48 greater than 30, so CETAS ang ginamit. Since ang decision natin rejecting HO, so claiming not equal to 150,000. So therefore, our conclusion is, the claim of the suburban community is true. Okay? So sinabi nila dito kasi that the community claims that their residents did not spend 150,000. So that is true. Their claim is true based on the computation ng CTES natin. Ano? Okay? Yan ang pagkakaiba. Okay? Any question here, class? Bago tayo muna sa next example. Question?
Wala po.
Wala po.
Sigurado Okay. So, magkakaroon ng exercises sa susunod, I need to see the whole steps. Ano? Wala tayong shortcut dito. So, everything solution from step 1 up to step 5. Indicating your conclusion based from the computation ng C-test at saka T-test. Ano? Okay? Pili pa tayo sa pang problem. C-test yung una. So, let's write T-test naman. Yan, 15. Okay, let's try this example number for our class. Ano? Anyone with problem number 4? May iba pang kamay? Bukod kay Flores at kay Katoliko? Iba namang kamay? Babasahin na lang. Oh, iba naman. Participate naman kayo.
Sir, ako na po.
Yeah, Mercado, please.
Example number 4. A recent study shows that the mean pulse rate of college women is 73. A researcher wants to know if the mean pulse rate for all college women is equivalent to 73. He measured the pulse rate of 15 college women in a certain university and found that the mean is 70.31 with a standard deviation of 8.52. Use 0.10 level of significance.
Okay, upon reading the problem, we have seen that the claim is that the mean population, or the population mean, is equal to 73 kasi nakasulat dito. No? So, the mean pulse rate is 73. Yun ang claim ng studying ito. So, therefore, we can say that our study again is two-tailed na kasi automatically kung ang claim nila is equal to 73, ang ating HB is not equal to 73. So hindi natin alam kung greater than or less than, kaya two-tailed siya. Nagiging two-tailed. Yun ang determining factor para masabi natin na kung two-tailed or one-tailed ang ating exam. So ano lang yan if you've seen the word more than or less than, it indicates one-tailed test yun, class, ganun yan. So, mas maraming nagsasabi na, mas pag nakita yung equal to or equivalent to, sometimes it is more on the two-tailed test, okay? Kasi pag nag one-tailed ka, either claim it less than or greater than. Kapag nag one tail tayo, nag two tail tayo, you're claiming it equal or not equal to. Yun yun. Okay? Less than or greater than, equal to or not equal to kapag siya ay two-tailed test. Ano? Okay? Step 1, we have done that. Saying that the claim is equal to 73 or the average false rate is 73. And then the H sub A is not equal to 73. Okay? Step 2, given yung mga bagay na to, so using alpha 0.10, meron man tayong stable niyan, just simply look at the table. Siyempre, mas mataas yung 0.05. Kasi ito, pag gumagamit ka ng 0.10, significance level, magiging 90% ng iyong confidence level. Ano? Kasi yung 0.10 is your margin of error. That means 10% ng margin of error mo. Tapos kasi pag 0.05 plus 5% na, mas 5% margin of error mo. Ito, mas mataas. So, pag ipapala mo ibig sabihin ng significance level class, parang sa 10 tinanong mo, isa yung mali. Kasi 10% yung isa. Kapag 0.05 level ng significance, kalahati lang mali sa 10 tinanong mo. O, ganun yung ibig sabihin na nasa madaling salita or maliwanag. Okay. Since dito, we are using t-test kasi ang ating response dito ay 15 lang, less than 30. So, t-test ang ginagamit. So, pag may t-test, may degree of freedom tayo. Okay? Degree of freedom, just like the one we have computed before, df is, dito, df, n-1 ang ginamit dito. Ay, hindi. Dito. Tama, n-1. Df, kaya naging 14 siya, n-1. So, ito yung gamitin ng indicator kung ano yung value na hanap natin. So, this is a two-tailed test. Okay, step 3, computation. So, the computation, substituting 70.31 sa mean natin, minus 73 as the population mean, divided by standard deviation given as 8.52 and dividing it by square root of 15, which is the number of respondents. Then, pressing it sa calculator, lumabas negative 1.22. So, kung ilalagay natin itong normal curve, okay, ganyan yung itsura niya. So, kita nyo, kabilaan ulit, region of rejection, itong shaded part, and then yung sa loob nun is a region of acceptance. Ano? Okay? So, saan pumuntak sa loob ng region of acceptance yung negative 1.22 kasi mas greater than sa 1.761 eh. Okay? Papataas nga yun, sinabi kanina, di ba? Okay? So, ang ating decision, which is step 4 na tayo, is accepting H sub O, rejecting H sub A, meaning to say that our study and based on the computation, nire-reject natin ng ang mu is not equal to 73. We're accepting mu as equal to 73 or accepting the claim. Therefore, we can say that the claim of the researcher that the mean pulse rate of a college human is 73. Ano? Yan ang magiging final decision mo. Kaya accept mo lang yung sinasabi na mean pulse rate of college human is 73. Okay? Ganon. Okay? So, more or less, mga problems natin ganito, magiging pahirap pa lang sa atin pag, siguro, I think, pag sulat ng netong part ng step 1, computation, madali lang. Tapos yung step 5, basta, base lang sa given lagi ang inyong decision. Kung ano yung kine-claim. Either accepting it or not accepting or rejecting. Rejecting tawag natin nun. Ano? Okay? Yes, may tanong ba? Any other question? So siguro I'll be posting an activity sa ating Google Class. Siguro kahit bukas and then we will be going to answer it sa klase sa Miyerkules, ano? Para masubukan natin mag-complete sa klase natin. Para bago tayo magkaroon ng quiz tungkol dito, ano? So, okay ba yun sa inyo?
Yes.
Sir, yung ano po pala, sir,
Yes,
yung
sige.
t-test po na ginawa namin, ipapasa na rin po ba?
Ay, hindi mo na yun. Activity nyo yun eh. So, that itabi nyo yun para reviewer. Nilagay ko naman yung ano, 'di ba, sa ating group chat na sinabi kung anong correct conclusion, ano. Base doon sa pinakang given. Marami naman, actually, wala naman masyado kayong mali. Kasi ang pinakang problem lang doon, yung pag-state nyo ng yung pinakang final decision. Kasi ang isang comment ko doon, relationship is different or magkaiba sa difference. Ano? Kung sinasabi relationship, stick on relationship. Kung difference sa pinasabi ng problem, stick on difference. Huwag niyo silang gagawing ano, synonymous, ano, kung hindi magkakamali kayo. Yun ang paalala ko doon. No? So, sa next meeting siguro, yun ang ipapasa sa akin. Ipapasagutan ko. Pagpasa natin yun. Okay? Malinaw ba?
Yes po.
Okay. Okay, thank you class. Ilan ba tayo? 28 lang tayo. 20, wala na, kukunti na lang man kayo, di ba? Ilan ba tayo uli? Miss ano? Ating
26 lang po.
pero talaga sa klase nyo, ilan na kayo? 26 na lang?
Yes po, sir.
Ayan na, okay. Nandito na pala lahat. Ano? Okay, any other question, class? May tanong po ba kayo?
Wala na.
Wala po.
Okay, medyo madali lang itindihin yung, yun nga lang, ang isang problema doon kapag nalito ka, no? Huwag kang papalito. Just focus on the problem, huwag kang sama-samahin. So, yung idea nga sinabi natin kanina na C-test kapag greater than 30, T-test pag less than 30, ano? Okay? Okay? Thank you, class. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.